Hey guys, today I want to show you how you can make over 500 million IS per hour in Highsec with only 2 runes. And the method is trig hunting. And not just regular trig hunting, you're going to farm an insta-respawning rat at the wormholes. And I will show you how to get that rat and how to farm it. First of all, I will start with the ships you need. You need 1 Kronos and 1 howler. You don't need it to be a hauler, but I will explain later why I prefer it to be a hauler, especially a DST. So, let's go over the Kronos fit first. The Kronos fit is pretty straightforward, since we will farm 1 NPC only at a wormhole, which will instantly respawn. We want to have a very high scan resolution. This is why we have 3 cinder boosters to lock the NPCs as fast as possible. Then we have blasters to, well, blast him. And a Grappler, tracking router and Metastasis adjuster. This is all for application, since there's a high chance of the NPC being a frigate or a destroyer. And then in the low slots we got 4 magnetic field stabilizers for maximum amount of damage, 1 rep for tank. You don't really need a lot of rep, like I would say if you tank about 800 DPS that should be Gucci, since you only need to tank like 3 or 4 fully spooled Trigs ships. And then we got 2 power relays and 1 CCC for Capacitor. You do not need to be cap stable, but I prefer to be cap stable because it's just way more relaxed to farm the sides. Also, since this character has very bad skill points, I'm using some Rapture implants. You don't need them if you have skills. Like you can see here, my character only has 13 million skill points. So if you have good skills, you can probably skip all of those and just get the hardwirings to be stable. Although they are not really expensive. I think this whole pod costs like 500 mil. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal if you want to make an alt. And I would actually recommend you to do it on alt. Because if you shoot Triglivians, then your... one sec, let me type. Then your Triglivian standing will go down, which is very bad, because then you will be restricted in traveling in Highsec and in Podrin. So I would recommend you to do this on an alt, so you can still access every system with your main. So yeah, as you can see, my Trig standing is very bad. That's why I'm doing it on an alt. Okay, so why do we need a DST? The thing is that these Trigs, they do not give bounty, they drop loot and salvage. And that's why we want a DST with a howler. And the loot is very heavy, so they drop like if you farm for a few hours, it can be tens of thousands of cubic meters. That's why I love the DST, because it has a lot of cubic meters in space, and you can also tank it, so it's hard to be ganked. Like if you're getting ganked, like they need a lot of ships because you have 100,000 EHP. Some people like to use a Noctis with this to be able to salvage the wrecks as you loot them. Although for me, I would say it's not really worth it, because the salvage is not actually that good. It's like 10% of the loot. So if you get like 1 billion loot, then you get like around 100 million instant salvage. But for me it's just too much like to do. For salvaging I'm basically lazy, but if you have, like if you're willing to salvage, then you can make even more money. So yeah, you can use any ship, to be honest, as your looter. You can even put the MTU into your Kronos, but you won't be able to loot all of it, especially if you farm for longer periods of time, because the loot is very heavy. That's why you have an hauler alt. Alright, so we got our ships, we got our skills. What do we do now? We have to find a Triglivian wormhole, and for that we do need to go to Podrin, which is the easiest way to do it. So we are going to grab... we already have them. We're going to grab border filaments, because they will let us out in the border regions of Podrin. And why you want to do that is because all the border regions actually lead their wormholes to Jita. Like if you in Podrin, the systems, they are very widespread. So let me show this here. Now, you see these lines? This is Podrin regions. And we want to go to border regions because all the border regions are around here. So if you take a border filament, I can show you right now, you're probably going to end up near Jita. Which is good, because then the wormhole will lead to a system near Jita. Alright, so now we are in Avasaras. So we just went up here. And if you find a wormhole here, then it will be near Jita. So now we just have to get scanning and find a good wormhole. And yeah, I'll see you again when I find a good wormhole. One thing to note is that you can actually go to this website, I will link it in the description, and if you scroll down a bit you will see this map, and there you can see which systems are near Jita. So if you go to these systems that have a blue background, then you will have a wormhole which will be near Jita. So I like to use that to see, like for example right now I'm in Avasaras, but if this wormhole is not good, then I can see, okay, I could go to Sakenta, Como, Konoka, Eifyr, so I can see where I should go if this wormhole isn't good. So I will first walk to this ping here to see descan the side wormholes, because sometimes the wormholes get camped, so you kind of want to descan the wormholes before warping to them blindly. But most of the times nobody really bothers to camp them, only the popular systems like Sakenta and Zenda are sometimes camped. So you will have to watch out there. Okay, so we only see scanner props from descan, nothing else like no bubblers or something, so it should be Gucci to warp there. So we are going to do that. And we are going to make a ping while warping in, because when you warp the wormhole, you won't land at the wormhole, you will land like 80 kilometers off. And that's why we want to make a ping, so we can warp back to the ping and then to the wormhole, so we don't have to travel. Because we are lazy. Alright, ping has been made. This wormhole leads to high security space, and it's also a blue wormhole, which means it will lead to Jita space. So now we are going to bookmark the hole. And warp to our ping. I hope it's on grid. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so we wouldn't even need to bookmark the hole, but still, it's safer to bookmark the hole. So now we just walk to the ping and walk to the hole. And that way we can instantly jump it and we don't have to like burn 80 kilometers. Alright, let's jump the hole. Oh, there's a Heron. Hello, sir. That doesn't matter for us, so we are going to jump the hole and see if it is a good hole. And basically what you want to check there is, first of all, is the hole already farmed? You can see it is. So in this case, we would have to go somewhere else, because there are already people farming the hole, and it won't be efficient to farm here. So we're just going to jump back and keep looking for a hole. Now that I know Avazaris is not a good system, I will go to Kronoka and Eifyr, since Sakenta is most of the times it's a very good hole. It will be very close to Jita, but this also means that it will probably already be occupied. So I will just go to Kronoka. Alright, so I have decided that it's probably a good idea to use a character to scan the holes which is not red to Trigs, so you don't feed any more scanners, and we actually just found a hole. And how you know that you found a good hole is, first of all, there are not a lot of ships here, and they are sitting at 0 velocity. This means that this is a fresh spawn. So, now we got the hole that we are going to farm in, so we are going to bookmark it, that's very important, and now we're going to get our setup, and go here, and then I will show you how to actually set up the crabbing and how to do it. So yeah, now you just move the scanner back to Highsec, back to Jita. This is actually my howler toon, so now I have to get him to Jita. And then we're going to grab the Kronos and the howler to go there, and I'll see you there. Alright, so now we are in the system, and what we are going to do is we are going to align the Kronos and the howler to the hole, activate all our modules. This is for the Kronos, this is just the passive mods, and for the howler this is just the hardness. And then we are going to fleet warp there. And hopefully no one is set up to farm right now. Also what I like to do is just bring Drop and Pyro, cheap drugs, to get my efficiency to go up a bit, because they increase your DPS and applied DPS quite a bit, and they don't really cost anything, so I just like to take them. Okay, so we are at the hole, and what we want to do with the Kronos is we want to get right in the middle of the hole. This makes it easier for us to track the targets, although we are already in a pretty good position. And we're just going to lock all these guys up and then go to siege. And with our hauler, what we're going to do is we are going to deploy our NTU, approach it, and that's it. With the hauler now you can go at basically AFK. It's just there to haul. So, since this is the first wave, we can just kill all of it. So in the first wave you just kill the entire wave, or we should use null on this, so we're just going to use void on the close guys and then reload null for the Leshak. Okay, so we're going to use null for the Leshak now, and the second wave is where it gets interesting, because there you can actually start the Giga crabbing. So we're just going to get rid of this Leshak. Also, it's very important that your MTU alt has positive standings to Leshak, to the Trigs, because otherwise he will die, which is not that good. So, now that the Leshak is dead, we are going to reload back to void. Come on, die. Awesome. And this is where the fun begins. In this wave, you want to pick the hospital rat, and this is the rat that will infinitely respawn. So now you can just start killing this rat, and now you will see, so as soon as it dies, it will respawn immediately. And it won't always be a Kikimora, it can be a Vetmark, a Kikimora, or a Damavik. So it's one of these rats, and they spawn very good loot. And with this loot you can make like, I would say about 500 million ISK per hour from only the loot itself, sometimes even more. And if you then use salvage as well, there's even more ISK. So yeah, this is basically what you do. Be careful not to shoot the other guys, because if you shoot other people then they can call reinforcements, which you cannot tank. So you want to make sure that you're only shooting the hospitals. Sometimes when you can't tank the second wave, for example if there would be like 2 Leshaks there, you kind of have to kill one. It's always a bit of a gamble, because sometimes when you kill one they don't call it reinforcement, sometimes they do. So if you can't tank the wave, then you just have to gamble and kill one NPC and hope that you can then tank it and it doesn't call reinforcements. Although if it does call reinforcements, you have to warp away or jump the wormhole to not die. So yeah, but that doesn't really happen. Like most of the times it's only like a bunch of frigates, cruisers, so you can easily tank that. So yeah, now you just grab, and you can see with your howler alt that the loot gets pulled in. And so yeah, with the howler alt, one tip I would recommend to you is always have this open, because if people warp in and want to kill the MTU, you can just click loot all, or drag it into your fleet hangar, and bam, that's it. So now they can't get your loot, and to get the loot from the howler, they would have to kill the tanky howler, and you can also just jump the wormhole and MJD away. So you're not really that gankable. The Kronos is kind of vulnerable to ganks, because you don't really have a lot of buffer, although if you get ganked I would recommend you to jump the wormhole and warp away. Of course it's dangerous in Podfin, but I would rather jump the hole and try to get safe instead of just dying in Highsec doing nothing. And like in the hole you can just go there, warp to a safe, or back to the hole, jump back, and by that the gankers will be dead and you can warp to the station to safety. So it's not really that dangerous to jump the hole for safety measures. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. I'll show you guys a time lapse of me running these sites for an hour now, and I will see you guys in 1 hour, and we will see how much ISK we can actually make in 1 hour of crabbing. So yeah, enjoy the footage. Alright, so we have read it for an hour and we made about, oh, let's see. This is the funniest part, where you sort all your items and the game just stops working. Okay, so in our MTU we have 470 million ISK, which is not 500. Although, if you look at this grid, there are still many wrecks which are not collected, so you can just like go AFK for 5 minutes and then you will collect the final, you have this final amount of money. So I will wait a bit and see how much money we actually made, and then I will see you right back. Alright, so now we have looted everything, and we actually, all the wrecks are actually worth 580 million ISK. This took another 11 minutes, so you could say I only made 460 million an hour, you could say I made 580. It's kind of like open to interpretation, but I would say it's like 580, because it only took me, like, I didn't have to do anything for the 10 minutes to get the extra 100 mil. So yeah, I'd say it's like 580 million per hour, and you can probably salvage this grid for another, I don't know, something between 50 and 100 million ISK, but I'm too lazy to do that. Yeah, that's basically it. The ISK is really easy. You can sell this to Jita. Every single thing of this has good orders. The most amount of money you get from this. These are Triglivian stuff. These are just red loot. You just sell them to NPC orders, and this is used for T2 industry, I think, or is it this one? No, well, I think these are used for like building T2 ships, like the Ikitursa and the Zarmast. I'm not really sure though, but yeah, they're used for something. Yeah, that's it. It's quite easy. You also get some random junk. I guess you can just trash it or reprocess or do whatever. I just put them on buy orders because I'm too lazy to do anything. But yeah, that's the method. I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe you will do that as you will do the method as well. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.